I know the thumbnail. I know I know the title is a little too sus or some shit. This is how a Nofapper deals with a boner. Now, before I call myself a Nofapper, I just want to make sure that I'm just living my life. And whether or not you want to consider me as going on the Nofap, that is totally up to you. But basically, I'm a Nofapper, right? But it's like I don't know what is Nofap at all. It's just that every time I need to come up on camera, I have to tell you that I'm on Nofap. While in fact, I don't even give a fuck about Nofap because I didn't fap for a very long time. So here's the thing: you, every time you get horny, you jerk off, you touch your dick. Whilst in order for you to succeed in Nofap, not even succeed in Nofap, it's like to not even fab at all. You need to become the person who doesn't fab. And who is that? A no fabber. Now you don't have to be always like edging in your wall. What day is it? Oh, it's day 7 now. It's day 30. Oh, it's day 80. Am I gonna make it to day 90? You don't have to do that. But you need to have the characteristic of that sort of person who would go about your life without fapping. So here's exactly what happens when a no fapper gets a boner. Because they do. I do. I do get a boner every single morning. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. This morning it was something different. I got a boner like very, very hard. I think it was because I ate a lot of almonds last night. Like I didn't even notice it. And it was kind of like an almond with some salty coating. I think it was like salt, mix it up with salt or some shit like that. Not some ordinary almonds, right? My mom bought it from me from the place that she went some few days ago. So I ate that more than like 10 pieces because it was good as fuck, right? And I knew it was healthy at the same time. So unexpectedly this morning, that boner was hard as fuck. That boner was hard as fuck, bro. Like my dick started to hurt because it was always hard, right? It's almost like the outer covering of my joints started to hurt. So I had to like relax down and just relax my breath. So we still get boner. Every time I'm studying right now, I just am over with this study session, so I'm coming up and recording this live. We still get boner when we're on table. We still get boner at school. It's the same thing that we did. It's almost like, in fact, it's almost like the boner even increased. It's almost like we have puberty all over again. But the only difference this time, even when we get a boner, is that we just embrace it. Every time I get a boner, I don't fucking rush to my dick and then I don't take out and jerk off. No. No. Every time I get a boner, work continues, the grind continues, the work continues. Because you gotta realize this thing, right? First of all, nobody's gonna do the shit for you. So even if you are doing your work and then suddenly you are getting a boner, if you decide to jerk off, you decide to jerk off. You can't expect for you to study and then jerk off at the same time. But nobody's gonna do the studies for you. Okay, like you gotta be doing it. And for you to be distracted by all these instant gratification pleasures, that makes you so much less of a man. It's almost like you're a boy. If you still jerk off, no matter if you're in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s, you are still in a weird way a boy, not a man yet. Bro, in my opinion, I would respect a 14, 13 years old, 13-year-old person who doesn't like jerk off, even though he's in like puberty, more than the person who is like 30 years of age and still jerks off. Like maybe I will treat them differently, but in my mind, I have like, yeah, that guy still jerks off. He's still a boy. He doesn't know how to control his emotions. Because at the end of the day, horniness is emotions. So you embrace it. It's still down there, it's still hard as well. But you almost like disassociate horniness with masturbation, like you have always did throughout your teenage years. And what you want to do instead is to associate now horniness with almost like a feeling of high testosterone. So that practically means that every time you get a boner when you're doing something random throughout the day, maybe you're working out, between set you get a boner, which is very rare, but you still do. Take take it as if it's almost like a boost in testosterone. Almost like, yeah, I have a boner right now. It's a sign of high testosterone. Yeah, I love my boner. Yes. I'm not gonna jerk off because this is a sign of my healthy high testosterone. And embrace it. And when you're on your study table, almost like, don't even fucking bother. Shit's gonna be rainy down there. Shit's gonna be sunny down there. But the work continues, right? If you're reading, read. If you're doing video editing, do video editing. The work continues. Be unwavered. The second one is like, be unwavered. I'm gonna touch upon a little bit about masculinity in a way that I understand it. The biblical masculinity and all of that. Masculinity, in and of itself, is to be unchanged. But in order to, for me to understand that, because I never understand this, right? For me to understand this, I first had to understand that the feminine energy is always changing. You could like imagine this song, right? I don't know who made this, Lil TJ or some shit like that. Like shorty having mood swings or I don't know the lyrics. I don't listen to those type of songs. I think it's very brainwashing you in a bad way. What you want to know is that girls always have mood swings. If you have ever been with a girl, you know that, or even if you have ever been around girls, you know one moment they will feel really angry and second they will feel like, oh, just fine. The second they will burst out and get all excited, just so that the next time they get angry at you again. Their emotion always changes. After reading The Way of the Superior Man, I was able to get a little glimpse of how it is like these spiritual terms of femininity and masculinity. I always read here on my table, right? After coming from school, I take on my phone or my laptop. I just started reading The Way of the Superior Man some few months ago. The way I understand this is that women are just like the world. The world will test you. The world will give you obstacle on your careers, just like the women will test you. So both this world and the women are all feminine. They are always changing. The weather is always changing. The stock market is always up and down. The economy is always up and down. The people are always changing. The leaders, the setting, the system is always changing. But masculine energy now is the energy that makes you unwavered, that makes you unshaken. So what does this have to do with your boner? Well, be unchanged by your boner. If you were doing your work before you had a boner, well, you better continue your work even though you have a boner. Now, this takes a certain level of practice because I could have never done that. I could have never done that, okay? Like, I would study chemistry in the morning, like I'm doing now. If I was by chance my, like, 1 year ago self, if I was like my 2 year ago self, I would study chemistry, and because it's hard as fuck, I would get a boner. I don't know if there's something related with the subject being the work at hand being too hard, and then me getting a boner for that. I don't know if there's a relation for that, but I would have ended up jerking off. It's my chair here, boom, boom, boom. Like I could still imagine that happening, but now it's not. Yeah, sure, I'm still horny. Yes, sure, I still want to come. Yeah, sure, my dick gets hard still, even though I'm on like Nofap day 200. More than that, by the way. But I embrace it. It's just a shift in mindset. This association and an association. This association with horniness and fapping. Association with horniness and feeling good about the fact that you have a high testosterone. Another practice that really helped me is to just give it a smile. Smile. Just smile. What happens when you're horny? You're never too happy. You're maybe never too sad either. But you're never just like smiling and jerking off like this, do you? But what if you made the effort to smile? What if in your mind you had like, yeah, Kiwi said to smile when I was horny, so I'm gonna smile. Majority of the time, 99.9% of the time, that will kill your boner. And I'm not even taking a piss right now. You see, even though you're not happy, when you smile, the muscle just reminds your brain about your happy memory. Your muscle being smiling, the smile muscle reminds your brain that you are happy. Even though you may be not, it thinks that you are happy, so you get happy. So what happens when you get happy? The horniness almost like goes away because your brain is now occupied with happy memories, happy emotions. And in fact, you also want to remember like a funny memory, a happy memory. Because at the end of the day, jerking off, getting a boner, and controlling it eventually is all mental game. It's not the physical game. It's not when you do 20 push-ups on the floor. Although that may be fucking cool, that never works. At least it didn't for me. And I've had guys telling me about this and how they face difficulties with getting a boner. Push-ups never worked for them either. So you see, it's all mental game, brother. Now it's hard. Now it's the mental game is hard, especially when you're horny because your brain is clouded. Why are you horny in the first place? Because of your thoughts. Because you're mind wandering. You need to become more mindful to not get a boner and also to be present at the moment. At the moment, I mean to say, at the present moment. Be present at the present moment, basically. And you also need to have the mindfulness to, even though you have a boner, think that, oh yeah, I'm gonna smile right now. Because you need to be conscious. Chances are, if you like get a boner, if you get a boner, you think that, oh yeah, the next time I'm gonna get a boner, I'm gonna think that I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna think that it's a sign of high testosterone. But how the fuck would you think that if your brain is already preoccupied to the point where you feel mindless, huh? No, right? Just wanna say, brother, I'm 17-year old right now. I never thought I could do this. I thought it'll take like for me to get to the age of 20 to actually learn how to do nofap, but it doesn't make no difference. The younger you are, the better. Chances are you have already fapped a lot of times in your life. Chances are you want to change. You've wasted all of those hours, you have wasted your life. Let me tell you, the faster the better. I'm 17 years old right now. Once again, like, bro, I'm fucking proud of me, right? I'm fucking proud of my younger self for taking this step to master nofap, to take time with it, to not obsess with it, but at the same time master it. You see, there's a thin line between nofap obsession and the people who go about learning nofap, because biologically you're always gonna fap. You're always gonna fap as a human being. When you have puberty, that is fucking normal. But at the end of the day, it's like, do you want to be normal? Do you want to quit fapping or become one of those 99% of the people who still faps? We're all gonna fap. And there's a thin line. Thin, very, very fucking thin line between the people who are obsessing about no fap, not fapping, because the people who are obsessing about no fap, like, oh yeah, I want to quit fapping, I want to quit fapping, yeah, what do I do, what do I do? And a thin line between the people who obsess over no fap but still able to do it. And this is the thin line. This thin line, to cross that section and become that 1% of the people who don't jerk off, is all mental game. It's all mental game, nothing physical. So what you want to, I'm gonna give you some practical advice. So what you want to do, shut the fuck up and start meditating. I don't know what you're doing if you're not meditating. Like, take a mindful breath with me right now. 5 breaths, okay? Inhale, exhale. Focus on your breath. Inhale, exhale. 3 more to go. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last one more, brother. Inhale, exhale. You need to start taking mindful breaths. And I just want you to, like, almost like pat yourself for, taking this mindful breath, 5 mindful breaths that you have never before in the past. Start meditating. I've already talked a lot about meditation, how to start getting into the habit of good habits. Start with 2 minutes a day, 1 minute a day. Slowly after 3 days, increase it by 1 minute. 3 days, 1 minute. 3 days, 1 minute. By the next week, you'll almost have like what? 5 minutes. Bringing it up till 10 minutes. And even on your worst days, even though you're progressively overloading, there's still gonna be worst days, right? So even on your worst days, you still want to meditate for at least 1 minute, like you have done at the beginning. And if I asked you whether 1 minute is a lot of hours, you would say it is not. It's not a lot of time. I mean to say, you could do it right any time of your life. You could meditate for 1 minute. You just have to breathe in and out. Just sit on your table. You don't have to sit in a monk mode position. No. Meditation, it makes you more mindful and disassociate horniness with jerking off and associate it instead with the feeling of like, yeah, I have a high testosterone right now. This is all I'm gonna say in this live stream. There's a lot of things that I've covered up in my like 1 hour video of Nofap guide. If you haven't checked that out, I think you're missing out a lot. Because here I am, like, I've been jerking off a lot. 3 years. I've been jerking off my whole teenage years. And now I realize how to overcome that. And so I think it will be really valuable, honestly. Not to give me more views or more likes or more like watch hours, but for you to actually implement whatever I say in that video. You can just check it out. It's just recently posted in like November or December, like few months ago. Improve your life one step at a good, one step at a time. Always. Fortnite Battle Pass, mother. Nani Yanga. I'm just looking at live replies now. Only one. You see, what the fuck is Fortnite Battle Pass? I've never played Fortnite. Maybe that's the reason I've been learning how to do Nofap. But anyways, improve your life, brother.